The American investor Warren Buffett says his Berkshire Hathaway group has sold all of its shares in the 4 largest US airlines. He said travel was likely to be much reduced in the next 3 to 4 years because of the coronavirus pandemic. Well, Anthony Pompliano is the author of the Pomp letter, which looks at investing, and he watched Warren Buffett's talk earlier. Anthony, good to see you. Thanks for being with us. So this not good news for the airlines there at all.
Yeah, look, in 2016, when Buffett took the airline position, I think it surprised people. He'd spent years kind of avoiding the airline investments. And then he owned about 10% in the 4 largest U.S. airlines. And so getting rid of the decision today, he was pretty intellectually honest and said that he had made a mistake. Obviously, the coronavirus has had a negative impact on U.S. travel and that entire industry. And so they've exited the position and they'll look elsewhere to put the cash as they continue to invest in kind of these uncertain times.
And obviously, for people who don't know, he's a titanic figure in the world of share buying and investing. What else has he said today?
Yeah, his main message was basically these are uncertain times, but he, along with many other investors, believed that to never bet against America, right? His belief is, look, I don't know how long this will last. I actually don't know if the stock market's going to go up or down or how long that may take to get a full recovery. But over long periods of time, betting against the United States is probably a bad bet. And so he's still long America and will continue to kind of do what he's done for the last number of decades. It served him well in the past, and I, along with many others, think that it'll continue to serve him well moving forward.
Yeah, it certainly served him well in the past, doesn't it? What about this apparent disconnect more widely between the state of the US economy and the stock market?
Yeah, you know, it's very obvious that the U.S. stock market is not a representation of the economy. It's a representation of central bank actions, right? So what we've seen over the last couple of weeks is unemployment, GDP, everything's going down. All of kind of the economic data is going negative, but the stock market is rallying. And so there's this dislocation between kind of the economic carnage on the ground and then what the stock investors are seeing. And so at some point, I think that there has to be some continuity there, right? That there either has to be the stock market coming down to meet the reality, or the reality has to improve to kind of meet those expectations of stock investors. But there's definitely a dislocation right now, and that's being driven by the central bank. The Federal Reserve has printed, $3+ trillion at this point, and it doesn't look like they're going to slow down. And so that money printing is definitely kind of inflating asset prices right now.
And you, just looking at the economy more widely, what kind of time frames are you putting on the recovery? How long is this going to take?
Well, step one is the economy is not going to recover while anyone's sitting at home, right? You've got to get people back to work safely. You've got to get them spending money again, consuming. So that's kind of the first step. The second step then is, if anyone's ever run a business before, you can't shut down your business, send all of your employees home, tell all of your customers that you're closed down, and then just start it back up on day one and immediately have all your employees back and all of the customers back, right? It takes time to do that. And so I don't think that we're going to kind of see this V-shaped recovery that some people are talking about. Instead, I think that this is going to take 12 to 18 months to kind of get people's feet back underneath them. And then also we're going to see a lot of businesses not come back, right? In the United States, 50% of jobs are from small businesses. It wouldn't surprise me to see 20% of small businesses in the U.S. not make it through this economic downturn, which is really sad. But I think that's kind of the reality that we're facing right now.
Yeah, huge times. Thank you very much for talking us through that, Anthony Pompliano.
You got it.